I need another cheeseburger.
Remember, kids, research is for pussies, especially when you do your own. The middle class holes.
Yeah, so this right here, this is mustard juice stain on my USA 2014 Pop Bomb men's soccer shirt, in case you were wondering.
Okay, I didn't realize that was the Pop Bomb. Is that legitimately, is that just what they called it, or they just really were like, it's not France, it's a popsicle, it's America?
Oh, no. So I don't think Nike ever officially named it the Pop Bomb. I think that's just like USA's, I think it's the 2013 Gold Cup. They had like Where's Waldo, and I don't think Nike was like, yay, we present to you the Where's Waldo jersey. I don't think that was a thing. I just think, the consumer made a name for it.
There was some fucking designer who went to college. It's just fucking like angrily jotting notes in a notepad, like fucking Waldo jersey, motherfuckers. Yeah.
Which, because Alan and I have talked about this at length, ad nauseum, that we think the USA should have a number one jersey that changes very little from World Cup to World Cup and from other international competition. And for those of you who don't know, the World Cup is on. It started today, and the USA plays tomorrow. Yeah. In regular list, Waldo jersey regularly gets brought up as that should be it. That should be the one. It's not too dissimilar from the Stars and Stripes that we have this year.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, you're saying it doesn't change that much. If the Waldo stripe, because I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's just like, it looks like a candy striper. It's just like it's the red
it's
white,
red and white with a blue neck trim line.
And you're right. That's basically what it should be. That's essentially what it is this year. This year's. I championed it when I first saw it, but the versions that they're selling on Nike, which, by the way, the reason they'll never have a solid singular jersey that can be reworn over and over again is because they can't sell $140, $170, $100+ fucking jersey every single time. So if you want the blank Bobo jersey, you're $100. What?
I would combat that with Brazil is a Nike commodity, and they don't change that much. Now, Brazil isn't the United States, and Nike isn't, their headquarters isn't in Brazil or Rio or Sao Paulo or something like that. I get it. I'm just saying there are other Nike countries that more or less stay the same.
Sure, but there are also countries that aren't going to be rebuying on a year-to-year basis, even if you changed it, because they don't have the disposable income that Americans supposedly have. And I don't think Americans have all that much disposable income anymore. I just think the shame of not having, you got that one. Oh, what's that one from? Thankfully, we do cherish vintage in America. But, I don't know. This one, as you can see, this one is a off the Walmart website that Maria got me and her, and I was and even I, who doesn't have the money nor wants to spend the money on a new jersey like that, I was like, really, you got that? I mean, I do want to represent the U.S., and then I got it, and I'm like, oh, it fits like a glove. How could I say no to this? And it looks good. Whoever's doing the designing in the Walmart fucking war room fucking nailed this design. I'd wear this all over the place.
And I think the beauty of that particular jersey right there that you're wearing is that can be timeless because it's not a jersey. That they don't wear that or haven't worn that or won't wear that for any other competition. And that could be worn for any United States men's or women's.
And by the way, Nike got a little proposition for you here. See, what Wes is saying is that this is not worn at all, but you change your shit so often that no one knows. I can say, oh yeah, this is the 1992 Copa Cup, caffeination exhibition festival jersey that they wore. Just one time. It was a one and done. Yeah, they only sold them for 30 minutes. I got one. Look at me.
There are three jerseys that I think could be, could have been staples. You don't change it that often, but that's your basis. But this year's men's jersey, I was a hater. I was a hater with the wavy stars, the wavy stripes, but I'm adopting it now. I was wrong.
It looks great when it's got the number on the front and the number on the back with the name. However, the version that Nike's selling, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know a whole lot of guys on the international team. I just don't. The national team, rather. So I don't want to buy somebody. I don't want to buy some scummo that with a red card and fucks us out of a game. I don't know. I don't know if what's going to happen. So I don't want to buy anybody's name. I'd rather get my name on the back or just like USA across the shoulders with a random number. I don't know, 17 or 76 or 17 on the front, 76 on the back. Just do something like that. That way I can buy something that looks like the game-worn jersey and not spend $140 on a guy I don't know.
Or do rock hard and then like a number that's believable. Like 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever.
I go to 6 on the front and 9 on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I do think what's killing sports in America now really is. I'm going to bring this up because the Knicks, obviously had a banger fucking last night. What a fuck.
I don't get drunk on Tuesday or Wednesdays that often, but
oh my God. And DirecTV picked the wrong time to squabble with ABC. I'm telling you that. Pricing of everything, man. Did you see how much like some of these tickets are going for?
I saw gaps from like 6 to 10 grand, and I don't know, like a $4,000 discrepancy in lower bowl if there's a 1 in your section or a 2 or a 3 or whatever, but numbers that just boggled my mind. I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah, no, people getting offered like $100,000 to sell their, because they like season ticket holders get first dibs on their playoff tickets, and then all of a sudden, some rich dude that's like been to a couple games here and there is probably going to rub elbows more than going to watch a basketball game. It's like, I'll give you $100,000 so I can be, so I can whisper my screenplay into the back of Ben Stiller's earlobes, like during the third quarter. It's fucking ridiculous. And I heard a bunch of New York fans. This is what's crazy. When they flip the camera over to the watch parties, those are the people who go to the games throughout the entirety of the season.
Exactly. Yes, those are your fans for the most part that put butts in the seats at Madison Square.
And then you flip to in the arena, and it's Timothée Chalamet, which no hate, man. Look, guy has carved out a hell of a career, has that kind of disposable income, is a fan, not hating on him. But like because they were saying how flat Madison Square Garden was like when they lost their game, and it was just like, well, yeah. Their fans aren't there. The people who are coming to, like, glam hawk at a basketball game, they're the ones in the building. Now, I'm not saying that Larry David doesn't get fucking, like, juiced up. Lifelong New Yorker, a fan.
Hey! Well, that's Jerry, who was there. Hey, go Knicks, look at that.
Even Jerry's a huge sports fan. I respect that. But there's a lot of people that go down the list. I'll say this to the Kardashian girlfriend of Timothée Chalamet. Like, she hadn't been showing up. I think she's like, I'm out. I'll give her full props for this. Like, I'm tapping, Tim. You go enjoy the game. I don't feel like getting dressed up for 90 minutes of, like, me not giving a fuck. So go have fun with Ben. And
I saw that the mayor could only muster up standing room. He was like, I gotta be budget conscious, yeah.
$1,000 ticket. I mean, look. Love or hate the guy, and I saw the commissioner sticking up for Trump, but like, because they were like, why was he here? It's like, well, he was a season ticket holder, lifelong New Yorker, does love the Knicks. Sorry you hate him. I mean,
I did find it odd that this was the first standing president to attend an NBA Finals game. Not that that's a bad thing. It just seems like somewhere along the line in the last 50 years, someone would have been like, hey, like Bush when the Rockets were fucking kicking ass in the mid 90s, or it's just something like, well, I guess Obama wouldn't. Obama wasn't president when the Bulls were winning.
No,
that would have been Clinton.
No.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a security thing. It's a closed stadium, and it's a little more difficult to do, especially now. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I did see the ticket prices, and I saw that thing you flicked me about being in that ultimate middle class conundrum of having the rights to NBA Finals games and someone offering you $20,000 a pop or $20,000 for 2 tickets.
Dude,
you gotta do it.
You
go to one, you gotta sell another.
Yeah, I mean, well, And my logic would have worked out so well, too, because they lost Game 3, which is the ones I said I would sell because you might clinch it in Game 4. And then you go to that Game 4, that most glorious fucking, the greatest tip-in I've ever seen. And you can say, like, it was dumb luck. You watch that replay, homeboy, like, there's a finesse to, like, making a ball of any kind do what you want it to do. He could have, like, popped his wrist. If he flexed his elbow, all he did was say, the momentum, this is a professional athlete realizing after decades upon decades of playing this sport, I'm just going to let my body's momentum allow the skin of my hand to touch the rubber of that ball, and it's going to float where it goes. And it
waxed on.
And that fucking crowd waxed off. God.
Oh, yes. I gotta say, good one. I think dumb luck that the ball was there, that it ricocheted, that the missed 3-pointer from Brunson happened to be right there. But also in the same vein, like Wembanyama switched. He was guarding Brunson. No one boxed him out. And I don't know if that guy's like 6'8", 6'9". He's a fucking freak athlete. And he even said, he's like, I've done that. I think I've made that play thousands and thousands of times. And I was just surprised no one was boxing me out. So shame on the Spurs, man. It was lovely. It was unbelievable. I had a hard time going to bed.
You go for the ball. I mean, I don't think it was dumb luck. I mean, any sport that you play, I'll tell you what, George Reynolds, God bless his soul, still alive. He always said, we are a garbage goal team. That's what we do. Like, you never give up on his whole theory was that only 50% of the first shot goes in. It's always like the other half of your goals are ricochets. So you always go for the garbage, clean it up, throw away your trash. And if you throw away your trash, you win games. And I mean, that was just, oh my God. And obviously because of the Danhausen thing and me being back in the WWE and all this, and it's New York, so it's obviously media fucking just condensed. It's just dude, when they're gonna pull this off. I think sadly they're gonna pull it off in San Antonio, which I don't know, might be honestly might be better for the city of New York.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like kind of a godsend.
They're going to party and or riot regardless, but I think it dulls the extent of it if it's not in New York. Yes, I agree. Because security at Madison Square would have to be unreal. I've gone out of Madison Square for a sold-out boxing match. Okay. Now, was every butt in the seat? Don't know, but it was, 22,000. I don't know what the capacity of Madison Square is. All NBA and NHL arenas are somewhere in the low 20,000, some maybe like in the 19s. We'll just say 22,000 for conversation's sake. That place was nuts leaving for a boxing match. The Knicks winning the NBA Finals at Madison Square, it's going to be like a pinata bus open.
God, yeah, 100%. I mean, and then there's going to be some of those advantageous scallywags out there. It always reminds me of that scene from Die Hard 3. It's like, what are you talking about? You can still steady all. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. There's going to be like small business owners prepping their stores like a hurricane's about to hit, like boarding things up and just preparing for the weather.
Yeah, but I have no love for like really any New York team, but for the Knicks, I am. I'm fucking rooting for them. I want this to happen. It's the one team out of New York City that just feels like they understand what hard times feel like.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
man. You hit the nail on the head there. And I feel like people in our age group watched really good teams either succumb to the Chicago Bulls or fuck themselves over in Game 7 against the Houston Rockets or have their star center get hurt in the finals in 99 in the shortened season because of the strike. And then since then just have, not even really close calls. I know they had some good teams with Carmelo and Jeremy Lin and that squad, but this team just seems to kind of be. I don't know why. I like Jalen Brunson. I like Hart. I like their story. They both came out of Villanova, and the other cast, as Karl Anthony Towns is got traded. Anunoby, the guy who had the tip in. I know Shamlet because I watched him play at Wichita State. Collectively, I don't love any of those players. Collectively as a group, they just seem to have something that ticks that I like.
Somebody put together a super clip of the comeback, so the 29 down to the tip in for the win. And I'm not going to lie, and you're going to love and hate me for this, but the way they were playing reminded me of me and Tom Angelonis against a young Wesley Fox and Teddy Plata in the backyard at the Angelonis compound. No, if you watch this super clip, it's like they're playing fundamental bounce pass basketball. Like they didn't nobody went out to be a superstar. It was like go to the open man, run your plays, find openings, set your picks, get your screens, yada, yada, yada. And it was just fundamental basketball. And I think when professionals like the Jalen Brunsons, that guy should be a perennial all-star. And he kind of is, but he's always been streaky. But it just seems like over this playoff run that they've been going on, that he hasn't been selfish. So his opportunities have come, but the pressure's not there because he hasn't been trying to do everything. And it's just working because it's team basketball. Good teams win championships. Superstar players will get you there.
Make no doubt about it. He is the guy on that team. Karl Anthony Towns is a legitimate, really good basketball. I wouldn't say star, but a really good basketball player. Brunson is the guy, but I think you're right on the fact that he knows when to push the pedal down and he knows when to pull the pedal back because of the flow of the game, man. He's got that sixth sense to understand when I need to take a shot and when someone else on the team is open to take a shot. And it's fun to watch. It's a lot of fun to watch. I wish there were more games.
I don't like the NBA. I haven't liked the NBA in a long time. I actually kind of decided I wasn't going to watch it this year because the past few years it's just been it's just cupcake basketball. But this has been good fucking basketball. I don't know what they did. I don't know if the refs are calling things different. I don't know if the players are executing differently now. I don't know. But for some reason, this playoff run has just been the game showed back up. And I'm like, okay, I like this.
Yeah, and Wembanyama got another flag one last night, which I think was a makeup call for him just fucking throwing Jalen Brunson to the ground. And they were showing some clips. That's I think his third for the playoffs. So if he happens to get another one in these next two games, he misses the following one. Wouldn't that be a bitch if he got it in game 6 and they won? They couldn't play game 7. But
all I know is
he did elbow the fuck out of that Timberwolf. The guy's names elude me. That was well earned. I'm surprised he didn't get thrown out of the game. But they talk, the way they talk about it, the basketball you and I grew up on. I'm not saying guys were whamming people with elbows, but it was tough. And I'm kind of liking the toughness that's being displayed in this NBA Finals. I'm kind of digging this fucking grit that's happening.
Listen, everybody says go back and watch the Jordan highlights from the Pistons. No, go back and watch Dennis Rodman highlights from the Bulls runs when he was on the team. They got Dennis Rodman was the equivalent of a hockey enforcer on the Bulls. Because they needed protection from these motherfuckers. And it was all right, fine. You guys want to pull that shit? We got a guy that pulls that shit. And because there was shit to be pulled. The refs were like, no, this is a physical game. You get in the paint, you're gonna get some color yourself. That's
right. That's actually Sean Kemp. I don't know if you remember him. He was a power forward for the
Supersonics, baby.
Yeah. He in an interview that was done in the last couple years, he said, man, Jordan didn't beat us in the finals. He's talking about 96 when the Bulls had the 72 win teams. Jordan didn't beat us in those finals. Jordan, listen, greatest player of all time. He was deserving of the MVP. He was the best player in the series. Dennis Rodman beat us. Dennis Rodman beat us. And he explained why. He's I'm not talking about stat sheets and this and that. When a play had to be made, when a rebound had to be grabbed, when someone needed to get checked verbally by Dennis and get their psyche all fucked up, he was that was Dennis Rodman.
100%.
I don't know if you remember, there's their backup center is this fucking, the dude looked God, I'm trying to remember the Gergen from the Oddities in WWF. Remember the big brute?
It's slightly, but I don't know. I just got a pickle in my mind and you threw me off. But yeah, go ahead.
But this center, his name is Frank Brickowski, looked like him. Dude, this guy's under the basket for free throws, and Rodman turns with his hands behind his back, perpendicular to him, and stares at him and smiles for both free throws the entire time. You can tell this motherfucker's like, God, I just want to fucking sock you.
Dude, Rodman, there's clips like Rodman, like, you know, maybe grabbing a nut or two, slapping asses. Like, he didn't have to, like, physically, like, hurt you, but he could assault you in a way that made you so uncomfortable.
Dude, Karl Malone was one of the most inflappable players of our era. Meaning, I don't care how much shit you talked, he wasn't going to talk back, and he was going to probably give you 23 and 10. You know what I mean? He was going to put in work, get the points, be the bruiser, power forward that he was paid to be. Those two finals, man, there were some times where, like, Karl Malone was about ready to rip the hair out in his head that he didn't have because Rodman was pissing him off so much.
Yeah. You need that. You need that in a way. Like, I mean, I kind of performed that art like on our fucking like championship soccer team in high school. Like, I played defense. I could clear a ball. I didn't have a great shot, and I could fucking slide tackle like a motherfucker. And I would just get up on fucking people's fucking waistbands, and I would just fucking do rude shit to them. I'd stomp on their feet.
Yeah.
I'd fucking knee them in the thigh.
Get that cleat in there. See, when I in my basketball playing, I played in high school. I was really good at the if someone took a bad shot on the other team, to tell them it was a good shot. That's a good shot, man. That was good. Good form there. Love that one.
That's such good shit talking. There's nothing you can say. It's just when your only comeback is fuck you. Like it's the best shit talk.
Now, see the risk in doing such a thing is then you cannot take a shitty shot the rest of the game.
100%.
You're supposed to be on. You know, you can miss a shot, but you can't be fucking airballing or.
I mean, you could always throw in like. I'm just emulating you, buddy. Like, you know, you can throw that in. That's about all you got. But yeah, you're right.
That's man, yeah, good stuff. Middle class, those everyone. Murr and Fox, man. Hey, before we get to the 911 dispatch dumb stories, I want to do a real quick middle class or white trash. We're going to start with this, but Murr and I went on a 22-minute tangent. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. It's summertime. God, today I had a couple beers towards the tail end of work to watch the Mexico game in the office, then got back here and was like, man, I'll go for a run. 97 degrees, 43% humidity. Let me tell you.
Sorry, not to go off on another tangent here, but I'm in a group chat with some folks at work, and everybody started throwing their stories back and forth about like how hot it was, you know, memes of people fanning themselves, and I just sent back a meme of a guy on a fucking couch with an air conditioner running and spraying cheese into his mouth, and I used your line, buddy. I just put, bummer, because I am on vacation, you fuckers.
So on this week's Middle Class, this week, like we do it every week, on this episode of Middle Class or White Trash, we ask about couples who are getting divorced, who gets the Netflix password, who then obtains the rights. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot to unpack on this, because if it's my username and login, I feel like I should get it. But we're just going to say, for conversation's sake, that this is a joint account.
Yeah, but a joint account. Okay. For example, I think Maria and I, almost 20 years, will be 20 next year. Anyway, this login, everything's in my name because I'm the only one technologically advanced to like set up an account. Right. So, I mean, I just feel like, yeah, I'll keep that. Well, good luck to you.
Yeah, true. Yes, I think the question is it middle class or white trash to bring this argument in divorce settlements, or divorce settlement rather.
Oh, shit. Okay, continue.
So you have, a la Wedding Crashers, very beginning scene, when they're talking about who gets the frequent flyer mileage. They're mine. I deserve them. You were seeing chastity, that piece of white trash, blah, 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 blah. You know, you go over the bullet points, and then it gets to, okay, the Netflix login. Who's getting that?
Fuck. Dude, there's a fine line between whether this is middle class or white trash.
Exactly. This is why I'm asking you, man.
Because
we have the hard-hitting questions here at the middle class holes, baby.
Because I feel like white trash is you already stole someone's login, therefore this wouldn't come to a divorce proceeding. middle class is I've been gainfully employed enough to afford a Netflix account for the last umpteen years, and this now becomes a God, man. This should make Netflix feel terrible about their pricing.
That's right. By the way, have you heard a Little Dicky song called "Save That Money"?
No, but I'm aware of Little Dicky.
Yeah, there's a lyric in there that says, "I get logins on Netflix from my cousin Greg. Thanks, Greg." But and I digress. And you're right. This is a tough one. I have a decision, but I want to hear yours first.
I'm going to go with the current state of America, the way things are. I feel like this might end up being a middle-class argument, but I'm going to put a caveat in there. I think it's posed by the woman's attorney. The wife's attorney is putting this, because I feel like the
wife's attorney is making this a point of contention, or something that needs to be litigated in a divorce settlement.
Because I think at some point in her conversation with her attorney, she said, and this motherfucker changed the Netflix password and I can't watch X, Y, or Z. And she's like, get that. I want that. I want, can you put that in there? And I feel like that's such a middle class white woman thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Wants to make divorce yucky.
Yes. Because like you can say anything you want about any culture that is America. I feel like white women are the most vindictive when it comes to their shows. And so I feel like some white ass Karen with a fucking flock of seagulls haircut is like, put that in the proceedings.
Well, on the other side of that coin, I think it's like asshole middle-class men, while going through a divorce, would be like, you know what? I'm going to change the password on that fucking bitch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's coming out of my account. I mean, if she's too dumb to set one up, I guess I get it.
Yeah, and you notice it on like a continue to watch. Like, that bitch is still fucking watching. No, nope. Not on my account.
You ain't seeing the last episode of White Lotus, you cunt.
No way, no siree.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'm going white. I'm going white trash. No, I'm going middle class. I'm going middle class, and it's such a. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this coin is like spinning, and it's fucking rotating on my desk. But yeah, I'm gonna go middle class.
See, I was, because Netflix is so commonplace now in households, I was leaning towards white trash because I thought that, like, you know, if this gets brought up, you know, again in a divorce settlement, that people of that ilk have to be white trash. I think white trash people would settle this particular argument differently. I think a car gets keyed. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
You know, I think a coax line gets cut. That's how you settle the Netflix line out of court. I'm going middle class as well. Yeah, you could, because again, you know, what is Netflix? I don't even know what it is.
I don't know.
It's my wife's account. I don't know.
It's my account. I signed up like as soon. I mean, I've been a Netflix member since the DVDs. So I've been a Netflix member. I think I was actually a late adopter to Netflix, by the way, but at the time, and I think I signed up for Netflix in like 2005.
Okay, God, almost 20. Oh, not almost 20 plus years.
And so, dude, this is how bad it is.
That's a late adopt. That's a late to the game.
A late to the game, because like there were already people that were like full on Netflix subscribers who were like just getting, because that's just when they were doing the DVDs. And okay. I moved to South Carolina.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Not the streaming service that we now know of, Netflix.
Right.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then when Netflix transitioned away from DVDs, I think I got like an email like, would you like this as well? And I was like, yeah. And then eventually got away from the DVDs altogether. And then we are now, I mean, this thing's a juggernaut now. I mean, it's amazing what Netflix, it is amazing what Netflix hath become. But this is what's crazy. My password's never changed. it is still six. It is still six strokes of the keyboard,
six characters,
and by the way, one of them's not special, and none of them are capitalized. That's how fucking old school my fucking like Netflix password is, because I never fucking changed it. But yeah, I think it might be up to $22 maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say like 18, 19. Yeah, that's actually funny. We were at the airport when we were headed out to Germany, and Sarah wanted, I don't know what she wanted to watch. We breezed through security, and she had her tablet on it. She was like, well, we can, and it might have been the Orioles game. I 100% remember, but she was like, we can log into your Xfinity account, because I still have, if you want to call it basic cable, I still have cable television. And I was like, everything that I log into that, I've been it's automatic sign in.
Yeah.
I don't think I know my password. And she was like, well, do you just want to give it a crack? And I was like, all right. And I used one of I have 10 different passwords, and then maybe 3 or 4 variations of those passwords. Use one of my earliest passwords. I'm talking about when I logged into AOL and it worked. I was like, oh God. That's how old that fucker is?
Yeah, dude.
Woo! Better change that.
No, don't. I've always said, I actually talk, when I go to Williams Jiu-Jitsu class, I end up sitting with a guy who's he works for a banking company, and we talk about internet travesties all the time, and I'm like, and I brought it up, because I've always had this theory about how people's identities get thieved, because my dad's such a fucking security nut, and he's like, well, my password's 40 characters, and I know what they all are because they all have a pattern to them. I'm like, Dad, they're not going to steal your password from that. They're going to steal your password from, I don't know, some hospital that you had to sign up for this, and that's where they get your social security number. He's like, no, you're 100% right. He's like, they go for, the low-hanging fruit, people who contract out for the lowest possible provider of anything, and they have no security wall, there's no backup. Yeah, they get all your information from that. It's not M&T Bank that they're getting your shit from. It's fucking, I don't know, you wanted to buy a cheap jersey off of Temu, and you got it from a third-party seller. They just hacked that third-party seller's fucking client list, and we're like, hey, we got all their shit. That's how it works. Yeah, but
and that's where I've worked for companies that you have to change your password every 3 weeks. And it's this endless criteria of it. And there's sometimes where I was writing sentences out about how badass I was.
We had to change ours, and I had to call HR for something, and they were like, all right, you had to verify all this stuff, and it was verify your password. And I was like, all right. I didn't know I was going to need to do this. Are you ready? Like, yeah. I was like, it's every word starts with a capital, but it's let me the fuck in, please. 1397. All right.
Yeah, that's where I was getting issued at an older job. I was getting issued a tablet, and had to walk through security protocol with someone from the IT department, and they were like, okay, blah, 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 okay, so here's where you're going to create your password. I have my head down looking at the keyboard, not thinking, just assuming that it was going to show stars. And it didn't, and it was immediately something vulgar. And she was like, I can see your password. I was like, oh, yeah.
Just a joke between me and you.
Right.
You get jokes, right?
Oh, God. All right. We got a quick BuzzFeed list, so we're going to take a quick break, come back with Fun Fact Friday. But tonight's list is, again, I feel like BuzzFeed just has the best ones, man.
They've been nailing them. They've been nailing them recently. And it's kind of like one of those things where, you have a company that made a name for themselves, they got sold off, and then they went downhill, and then they found their people. And their people have been knocking it out of the park with these lists recently.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like just a more organized Reddit, which we could do because you're getting average Joes like ourselves telling confessional stories, but they put it in a very palatable list, and we're going to get to it. These are 911 dispatchers who tell us the kind of dumbest reasons that someone ever called for emergency services. We're going to come out the gate. Number one, I was visiting my mother, age 96, and she reported me, age 68 to 911 as a missing child because I hadn't got back by dark. Thanks, Mom.
It's hard to hate on that, though. Because, like, okay, today
parents are always going to worry.
Today was William's 5th grade promotion to middle school ceremony thing, right? And I'm like, God, the kid's still fresh out the fucking crotch to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. And so I can only imagine. And I've thought about this.
Stomach in your case.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we cut him out. But like, as he's gotten older, like I still like. I mean, come on, I still snuggle up on him, give him little kisses on the cheek and shit like that. But he's like 3/4 my size now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've thought about this recently. Like, I actually asked myself this after I put on to bed the other night. Like, am I still going to be doing this when he's like in his 20s? And I think the answer is still going to be yes. I still think when he comes to visit me, I'm like, just like, even if it's just funny for jokes. Yeah. And so,
I mean, you'll still show affection and love and a hug. Yeah, I get it.
I think I'll still do it like this to be funny. But if I start to get to like in my 90s and I'm kind of demented, like, that's still my kid. I don't blame her. Of all the funny ones that we have in this list, like, yeah, I don't blame I don't blame her.
This is the summer after 9/11, so like July of 2002. My mom and I drove straight shot to her hometown in western Iowa. Okay, we were debating taking a break, and I said, "No, we can make this happen." And there was a part of like central Iowa where I was like, "This was a mistake. This was stupid. We shouldn't have done. Why'd you take my advice? I'm 19." And, but her father, my grandfather, Big Wes, rest in peace. Him and his wife, my grandmother, they used to go to bed regularly around like 7:30. We didn't roll into like 1:30 a.m. and he was still wide awake on the recliner. And my mom said, "Oh, you didn't have to stay up." And he's like, "I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep knowing you guys were on the road. I just couldn't. Yeah. I just want to make sure you guys got home." Yeah. 100%. And if he still got up at 5:30, hey, get your ass up.
I'm awake.
Shit to do.
Yeah. We got black coffee to drink and bacon to eat. Let's go.
I got a list of things for you to move. All right.
I get this once every 10 years.
Yeah. My favorite is when one lady dialed in from a Wendy's drive-thru because they wouldn't sell her a Whopper.
I don't know if anybody understands what 911 stands for. It's emergency services.
To this woman, this is an emergency.
I was so mad. I signed up to be a 911 operator, and I passed everything. And then I got to the interview, and they told me what failed was my honesty on my past marijuana use. And by the way, I blamed it on you and your family.
They probably grow it.
So. No, I just said my buddies had they had a New Year's party about 10. This is what I said. They had a New Year's party about 10 years ago, and it was the Y2K thing, and I was like, so we all burned one, and I was like, but that was the last time. And they were like, 10 years? Like, you're not like letting me free from these shackles for over a decade to answer 911 calls? What do you think I'm going to do? Like, oh, you're at a drug bust? Oh, the guy won't sell you weed. What's your address? Like, I'm going to show up and like take advantage of that situation.
Yeah, I almost feel like that would be a prerequisite. Like, we need stoners.
Yeah,
we need people who are even keeled, who
stay calm,
flip out. Yeah, and that's ridiculous. I can't imagine what time frame was this?
It's about 10 years ago now, maybe a little bit more. It's before I started the postal service.
Yeah, I did that's ridiculous in my mind. I can't imagine like what you smoked weed 10 years ago. Sorry, you're not capable.
Yeah,
of being a fucking operator.
Well, their logic was that you were
FBI or some bullshit.
that you're going to be privy to like information that involves people who sell drugs, and I guess they think that because you smoked some pot 10 years ago that you're going to take advantage. Like, oh, I know the address of a guy who sells, who's a dealer.
This is like the odd shit that you might do to convince someone that what you do isn't dangerous or going to put other people in harm's way. Because you're like, yeah, I can introduce you to my weed guy. He's a fucking old hippie.
Yeah. Well, not just that. I guess I mean, in their defense, I suppose, I guess if they feel like you're comfortable with criminal activity, this might not be the gig for you. I don't know. I'm jumping through some hoops for it. I'd have been a great 911 operator. I still think I would be if the interview's still active.
That's right. If the folks at Wichita, Kansas, or Youngstown, Ohio need someone, Ingemer's your guy. A guy once called during a power outage to ask what the score of the USA-Canada gold medal game of the Olympics was. I'm Canadian, obviously I told him. Good to know this happens in Canada as well. Thank you, Canada.
Look, bottom line, in a way, in Canada, that's kind of an emergency. I was need to say, man, know.
There's this is a regional emergency. I get it. I'm not a hockey guy, but I also understand the importance of a gold medal game where your country's facing your foe to the south. And during the power outage, you're in Winnipeg or something, getting hammered. Hey, look, man. Hey, look.
Are they about to tie it?
Score the game.
I mean, it's illegal to do that. You should not. I do not recommend it. However, if you're the 911 operator, you go 3-2, bye, and you just fucking hang up the phone.
Who's that? That's my mother.
Yeah, there you go. She called you at work?
Wants to know if I'm getting back before dark. Someone called to report their neighbors dropping pebbles into their lawn. Not rocks, pebbles into her driveway. Turns out it wasn't happening. And she had actually been harassing them for months, and they had proof. And she actually got arrested because it escalated so much that she attacked the cop. So it looks like someone who's, baiting the cops into someone that they just don't like. I can not sympathize with this. I grew up on a street where we had old women who just didn't like the kids, and the kids were plentiful. There's probably 13 of us. And let me tell you something. We weren't exactly like the most quiet, polite bunch. So I get it. But yeah, like they're dropping pebbles into my driveway. Jesus Christ. let me break out the detective for this one.
Your gravel driveway, man? Yeah. Are they just going to blend into the driveway? Probably, but they're not mine. I don't want them there.
They're throwing them with a lot of force. I mean, they're bouncing.
They might damage the other rocks.
I think the one kid's a pitcher in the Little League. I mean, he's got an arm.
What I do hate about stuff like this, though, is that when people like this end up in court, like they end up with a record of how many times they've called 911. And they're like, well, I had to call 911 15 times. That's right there. Look in the sheet. And, yeah, it's for shit like this. And then the person is like, I'm a normal human. I never called 911 because none of this is a big deal to me. However, it's a big deal to Mrs. fucking Nutcracker over here. And I'd like to be on the right side of the law, but she's making it real difficult.
Yeah. This reminds me, you probably know this story, but Dewey and a friend of his who lived on the block solicited alcohol when they were minors, I think 18 or 19. And then it was staying at the friend's house, and the friend's older sister, who was pregnant at the time, locked the door. And they were like banging on the door. And I think the compromise was, let us in, we'll get the beer, and then we'll leave and let it be. Like, that's like, come on, stop doing this. And no. And the parents of this house called our house to say they were contemplating calling the cops. And the words were, my daughter's pregnant and she has a nervous uterus. Whatever the fuck that is.
I think it's worse that you don't know the workings of your daughter's uterus.
I know, right? Very nervous, very touchy. And of course, Foxy had a field day with that one. That was a punchline for decades.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, there you go. Touche. When I was working dispatch, I literally had someone call the 911 emergency line saying, quote, "I'm a tourist and I'm bored in your town. I don't have enough money for a hotel either. What can you do?"
I could put you in jail for the night.
Yeah, right. You want a day in county? We got some beds.
I've heard foreign jails, as long as they're not south of the equator, are pretty nice.
Heard that from who? I'm just curious. I haven't heard otherwise. I don't know. I've
heard
always just been told don't get locked up outside of your country.
I've heard European jails are not bad at all. Like the. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I guess it obviously depends on the. I mean, I don't think you want like Eastern Europe jails, but like I'm talking like France and Germany and places like that. That you're pretty good to go. Like you're gonna get a meal that's probably better than what you're cooking at home, and
so
a little bit of space.
It's kind of like the scene in Blow where he's teaching the other inmates, and he says, "All right, I'll tell you what, we'll spend half the time doing this algebra bullshit, then we'll do the other half where I teach you how to be a drug dealer."
Yeah.
We had a physics teacher who he wasn't like, "We'll do half physics and half drug dealing," but he if you shelled out, paid attention, asked questions, took notes, he would do 5 minutes of like Q&A. And we got out of him that prior to him settling down, he was like a jewel runner and got caught. Well, he got arrested because him and his buddy got drunk and were pissing on the Louvre at like 5 a.m. But it turns out they figured out that they were illegally running jewels back and forth in countries. And he said he did a week in a shithole before he saw a judge.
Wow. Well, that does suck. Do I know this teacher?
No, he was there 1 year and 1 year only, my junior year. Great guy. God, a lot of fun.
I bet.
I mean, when you get stories like that, kids pay attention.
Yeah, goddamn right. What's funny is,
hey, everyone knuckle down for fucking 45 minutes, and we can get to the real meat and potatoes.
Yeah, we'll tell you about real life. Okay, like, God, yeah, that's a teacher you. I mean, it's sad that that's the kind of teacher like high school kids idolize.
Yeah, but to boot, he was a good physics teacher.
Okay, all right, well. Yeah,
it wasn't like he was some hack who was like, "Oh, look, here's Newton." Yum.
At the end of the day, of all the criminal activities you can participate in, you better be a bright motherfucker to fucking smuggle jewels. I don't know where to get jewels. I don't even know where to get enough jewels to smuggle. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
That might have been the good. Like, all right, I'm taking notes now. Where do we begin?
yeah. Where do we begin?
Where's the first line? Okay. An American tourist complained that the fish in the lake weren't biting, and by God, he paid a lot of money for this trip. I guess, okay, I'm not an avid fisherman. I know people who are. I've known people who travel to fish. CT, my dad's buddy, who
I know
every third year, him and friends used to go to Canada to fish in like a particular lake. Avid or not, yeah, calling 911 to be like, what is the deal with this fucking lake, this river, this body of water? I'm very confused. I'm perplexed. I am flabbergasted.
So is that in the States or is that overseas?
So it says American tourist. So I get
okay. American. Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna. Again, I don't agree, but I'm gonna devil's advocate here. So you're from a foreign country. You don't know how the police system works. All you know is 911 calls the cops. You've spent a shit ton of money to come to a stocked pond. Mm-hmm. They ain't biting. So what do? Hey, I got ripped the fuck off. I'm going to call the cops. How do you call the cops? 911. So I'll give them that because they're not from here. If that was a local, if that was a fucking tried and true born American,
yeah, right.
Fucking throw them in the fucking lake. Let that one of those magnet fisherman guys find them with a fucking rare earth mineral and a fucking piece of fishing line themselves.
Pulled out by a belt buckle or like a fake joint or something. Yeah, I agree. A 3 a.m. call in the middle of nowhere, 30-minute response time for my poor sleeping crew. They had tooth pain for 2 years. When asked why they chose the exact moment to call, he said, I just felt like it was time. Thank you for your honesty.
Fair enough. I got nothing on that one, man. I mean,
compound on this. Yeah, no, I agree.
This should be middle class. By the way, this should be middle class or white trash.
Yeah. So I placed the 911 call. I was young. I don't remember how young, but I hid under the porch swing and called 911 because my grandparents tried to get me to eat a hot dog.
I guess it all depends on how Grandpa asked, huh?
Yeah, right. Low and slow.
Put this between your buns.
It never happened to me, but I was always curious about kids just doing it to do it. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Just dialing 911 just to see what happened.
Oh. I think we did it once and hung up immediately, and we got a call back, and then we got a stern warning. Do that again, the cops are coming, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Because it is illegal, and rightfully so. I mean, you can't be fucking around with
I think that's the thing. Is like, maybe, okay, I know this has kind of been like a joke over the last couple of years, but I mean, I remember, like, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Like, that was a real PSA that came on TV in my youth, because, like, we were fucking feral kids. We went out, we played. Our parents didn't give a shit where we were, especially in the summertime. I think that's why that PSA got played all the time, is because the sun did not set until 9:30, 10 o'clock. Yeah. And the rule was always be back by dark. And I think our parents forgot that, like, oh shit, look outside. That's the light out. Must be early. And before they went to bed after their 15th Heineken, it's like, hey, you know where your kids are? Like, oh shit, I haven't checked yet. I think there needs to be a new PSA similar to that, like, 911 is for emergency services only. What are emergency services? Are you in danger? Have you been hurt? No? Don't call. Right. Have a good one. But I don't know where you put that anymore.
Do you like to make prank phone calls? Don't. There you go.
Not to this one.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know how much we had to add to this, but this is pretty good. Retired cop here. Love it already. A woman used to call like 4 to 5 times a week because of a ghost in her attic. I was still in training at the time. My training officer was an old, salty sergeant who was hired the year before I was born and was with me. He knew the address immediately. And literally said, fuck this is ending today. He directed me to pull into a Dollar General. He walks out with a mason jar he bought. We arrive at the home and meet the lady. He tells her, we're going to fix your ghost problem, ma'am. Yeah, sorry. We go up, shuffle around a bit. He lights a cigarette, blows the smoke into a jar, puts the lid on. We go back downstairs and proudly shows her the jar. We got him. She was beaming. Never heard from her again.
That's fucking top-notch police work.
That is protect and serve.
Yes, thank you. I get so mad when I see cop cars that are unmarked because, like, I remember growing up watching, like, the Andy Griffith Show. Dude, cars were black and white with fucking red and blue on top. Like, you knew it was a cop car. As we got older, cop cars became, like, military vehicles that were unmarked. Yeah. I hate the Ford Motor Company for continuing to sell the Ford fucking Explorer to the general fucking public. I hate it. They should not do it, especially black and all black. Don't do that. Stop it now. No, protect and serve. That's the whole point. Is like, listen, Slay's crazy. I want to make her feel better. She thinks this is a real emergency. I'm going to blow fucking cigarette smoke into a mason jar.
And you figure, like, he says he was in training, and this is this old crusty sergeant. Like, you're not getting that at the police academy. Mm-mm. This is human intuition. Like, all right, I got an idea. I think this is going to work.
Placebo
Put
effect,
this one in the
man.
old memory bank there, buddy. Yeah.
100% placebo effect. Like, she's going to think this worked. I'm going to know it didn't. And we're going to move on with life. We've protected and served her. Let's move on. I mean, the fact, and you can't tell me I'm wrong. She never fucking called again. Or that dirty ghost fucking got her in her sleep.
That's it. Where are you going to take that mason jar? Ghostbusters, ma'am. We got guys.
Peter Venkman. Look him up.
It's Doctor.
Yes.
The town recently installed a deer crossing side of the major intersection. A woman called in to complain because people flowed by the road, and she didn't think it was an appropriate place for the deer to cross.
Yeah, there's a classic radio call-in that I don't know. It was so well done. As a man who worked in radio, so well done, I don't know if it was real or fake. And it's a woman talking about the deer crossing sign being in a really inconvenient location.
Yeah. Yeah, I just... Depending upon where you live, deer are prevalent in more areas of the country. I'm not making that up when I say that.
No, people aren't hunting as much as they used to, so they're running rampant.
I think if you drive with any regularity, you are going to see a carcass that has been absolutely mauled to smithereens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're not. This isn't something where you're 40 and you go back home. You're like, babe, you wouldn't believe this. This thing was in 4 pieces. Like, you know what I mean? Raccoon, possum. Yeah, and it's the same for me when I see it every time. I go, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, like Route 40 between Perryville and Northeast, like where those big rigs are fucking hauling. Ooh. Yeah, you get an 18-wheeler up to about 65 and they put 180, 220-pound body out in front of anything. It ain't going to be a good day.
This is a good... I went home... I was living in Baltimore, but I hadn't been there. I was still in my 20s. I went home for my birthday dinner with my parents. And my mom had recently had an eye surgery, so she couldn't drive. And then, well, she couldn't drive at night. So she could drive us to the restaurant, but couldn't leave unless we ate at like 4 p.m. I just couldn't get off work early enough. And my dad was like, basically, well, I want to have some drinks. And I was like, okay, it's my birthday. I guess I'm having 1 beer. Great. And we got on a road where, where I had to think that deer kind of commonly go in and out. But one darted right in front of our car, and I honked the horn and flicked the lights, which I don't know if they train you to do that or if that's something that's in driver's ed. I always knew the light flicking was kind of standard operating procedure. But my dad then later said, if that was either one of us driving, that thing would have been blown to bits. I'm glad it was you. I'm glad you were driving.
It's always a great feeling when your parent fucking tells you, like, you made a maneuver that they wouldn't have conceived of.
Yeah. And we'd been in the house for like 15 seconds, and I was already done a beer. So I gotta tell you,
Yeah. I mean, where we live, like, where I live especially, man, yeah, they fucking jump out in front of me. They jumped out in front of me the other day, and I was so pissed. So pissed. Like, I made a maneuver. Deer came out in front of me probably like 15 feet in front of the fucking Tesla. And I fucking... done. Like, no... Like, I didn't get up or down. I just did the thing, and I looked at William, and I was like, hey, that's why I always pay attention. He's like, uh-huh. Like, just right back out the window. Not even impressed. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You have no idea.
Looking like the dog, tongue out of the window.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, whatever. Cool. Yeah, we need a deer. There he is right there. He's still running.
That's what my parents bestowed that upon me early on when I first started driving. Again, especially where we live in a rural part of Maryland. They were just like, look, when you get on those back roads, man, fucking don't dick around. There are going to be deer.
I know. I roll my eyes because every time I leave my parents' house, my dad's like, hey, watch out for deer. I'm like, no shit, old man. Like, I'm fucking almost 47 years old. I've been driving these roads for 30-some years now. I know. I get it. Like, you don't have to tell me.
He then called 911 and said, I warned my about the deer, and I don't think you took it to heart.
He just left. He rolled out of here in a fucking firestorm. It's ridiculous.
he neutral dropped in his Tesla. It sounded weird. Lastly, I got yelled at once. I assume this is the operator. I got yelled at once because no one turned on the Northern Lights. This is where morons shouldn't be allowed to do certain things.
I think you should show up to their house.
Stupid. What's that?
You show up to their house. You fucking hit them with the taser.
That's right. Yeah.
There they are.
All right, fuck it. This ends the night, and you buy, I don't know, laser pointers or some sort of spotlight.
Turn them on right now. Shoot them in the fucking face.
But this kind of harkens back to, social media in general, where it's like everyone has a voice. There's a good friend of mine, Don. He's actually been on the podcast prior to you actually being a regular co-host, because he had purchased DDP Yoga, and we wanted him to give a customer review on it. This is like 2019, 2018. So.
Oh, please. I want to know the customer review more than I want to know the story.
He said it's like yoga for the red states. He's like,
fair enough.
He puts up both hands and he calls this move touchdown.
That's exactly what I needed to hear.
Yeah, but I kept saying, like, when does he say bang? It's like, I don't know, like every third word. All right, we got to another exercise. Bang! DDP yoga. On to the next. All right, folks, and that's your 911 dispatchers giving us dumb stories here at the Middle Class Souls. All right, Murr, if you can get over this DDP yoga tutorial.
I can't, because, like, I remember I was at the fireworks store a few years ago when I got my Tesla, and, like, some fucking redneck was like, "That's my first time fireworks going to a Tesla." I was like, I bet more of my car was made in this country than yours. And he's driving a fucking big Ford truck, and he just kind of like, because his truck's made in fucking Mexico. And just the fact that it's the things that you need to convey to people to, like, convince them that something is worth it. And there's Don's right. You convince rednecks that yoga is a reasonable workout.
Yeah.
In a redneck way, they'll do it. It's like I had to convince a redneck that, yes, my electric car is 100% made in America. What's more important to you, the electricity or the made in America part? And I think I fucking confused this man. And, like, Donnie just fucking confused people to do yoga, and that's brilliant.
Right, yeah. I mean, core, balance, stretching your muscles, the lack of impact. All good things, which yoga. I have my gripes with yoga for different reasons. I don't think it's an unreasonable exercise. It's a worthwhile exercise. I just in like 2008, 2009, when Groupon was giving these people of my class the opportunity to take yoga classes and with 60 or 70 other people. And I was like, man, I could do this on a fucking computer screen and get the same effect out of it. I don't need to drive 10 minutes, find a parking spot, walk in, and be surrounded by a bunch of individuals who are way more physically fit than I am. Which is actually, dude, I went to one. It was called Bikram yoga. You familiar with that?
Oh yeah. That guy ended up fucking a lot of ladies, by the way. But either way, he had a solid exercise routine.
So it's an hour long, and they make the studio roughly 98 to 101 degrees. So you sweat your ass off. I'm of about 100 people. I'm one of like 4 dudes. Okay. And there's an open spot next to me. And in walks this African-American guy with no shirt and short shorts. And this man was beautiful. This man was absolutely fucking beautiful. It looked like Tyrese walked into this goddamn bitch. And I was like, please don't sit next to me. Please don't sit next to me. Please don't sit next to me. He walks up, hey man, is this one free? It's like, yeah. And like 60 fucking chicks' heads raise up and look at him, and he did everything perfect. Every pose was done as an instructor should. I was like, I mean, why are you here, man? This fucking Groupon wasn't that good. God. Ugh. Get out of
dude.
here.
It's just, and by the way, it's all in the name, like Pilates. Like, I was like, Pilates. And then I started doing some Pilates exercise. Like, fuck you, Pilates. Kiss my Pilates ass. Like, Pilates is strength training, core strength training, with maneuvers that your body is not normally apt to do, period.
Right.
And, like, I just think I think what happened was YouTube allowed all these granola ladies on to make their channels. They were into it. They did tutorials on it, and then you didn't realize that, no, there's Diamond Dallas Page motherfuckers out there doing this shit too. And if you find their pages, you're in for a world of hurt. Because our legal counsel had me do a 30-day yoga challenge with him. And the lady that does it, obviously a master of yoga, but she very soft-spoken, and we're going to attempt this pose, but we're going to attempt it in several ways, and you do the way that you think you are. It's like, fucking shut the... I need a guy going, this is touchdown. I need touchdown pose. Like, that's what I need. And if you sold me on touchdown pose, yes, I'm doing yoga. But if you sell me on whatever your body's capable of, I'm probably not going to perform the art.
And, they try to sell you on the Zen portion of it, too. It was like, all right, we're coming back to namaste. Like, man, all right, look, I'm sure to quote you, the granola eating fucking crowd, the Buddhists in the fucking in the audience, this is they went 6 to 12. Come on, I'm here to exercise. All right.
Yes.
Make my lats fucking burn like they haven't burned before. I'm not going to find Buddha. I'm not going to pray. I'll breathe because you tell me to breathe, because it's important to breathe when you're doing these types of things, but don't try to circumnavigate it into some spiritual awakening.
I need some mental brutality. I need you to tell me I can't do it. I need you to tell me I'm not worthy of this fucking exercise.
I want to be beaten up mentally. I want you to fucking Sugar Ray Leonard my fucking brain a few times.
I need some sadist bullshit coming to me, because that's the way I'm wired, all right? I'm broken, all right? You're fixed. I'm not.
You need a, good shot. You need one of those.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good, great form there.
Let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. Brought to you, of course, by our very many sponsors. Of course, we've got the Flat Earth Science Advocates for Truth. Also, the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Got any pain below your knee and above your ankle? Maybe some Bikram yoga is the avenue for you. Find them on Facebook as well. And, of course, our greatest sponsor of all time, the Cuckster. You can find them on both TikTok and Instagram. That's Cuckster for life. Cuckster for life on TikTok and Instagram. How's the Cuckster's summer started out? Is he all right? Is he good?
Well, yeah. I mean, some of the Motel 6s do have air conditioning, so it makes the cuck experience a little more palatable for the Cuckster. I think the wife does break a sweat, and the men around there, involved in the in the parlay, if you will, do break a sweat. But the Cuckster's comfy, man. He's cush.
Little Bikram cuck action going on. All right, that's all right.
There we go. You start a new phenomenon there. Bikram's cucking.
Little sweaty, all sorts of fluids all over the place. But let's get to it. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday. And tonight, because of the historic playoff win for the New York Knicks against the San Antonio Spurs, here are the top 5 single-game playoff comebacks in American sports history. This is between the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and NHL, ranked by mixed deficit, historical impact, stakes, legacy. So it's not just necessarily that the game was really lopsided and it went this way. No, it meant something in some capacity. So, did you know? Should I read this in Howard Cosell voice?
Maybe. Let's see. Let's do a litmus test. We'll start with the first, and if I don't like it, I'll tell you to fucking go back to whack-ass Andrew Murr voice.
Did you know? The Buffalo Bills versus the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC Wild Card Playoff, January 3rd, 1993. The Buffalo Bills trailed 32 points, 35-3 in the early third quarter, and won 41-38 in overtime. Led by backup quarterback Frank Reich. They scored 38 unanswered points to force overtime and won on a Steve Christie field goal. This remains the largest comeback in NFL postseason history and is widely called the greatest in NFL playoff lore.
Yeah, did watch that game. Frank Reich, Maryland graduate, who also led Maryland on a pretty sizable comeback against the University of Miami. I think at the time he did it, it was the biggest comeback in college football history. So, backup quarterback. Yeah, man, Jim Kelly got hurt, and Warren Moon was slinging. Warren Moon, well, by the way, way past overdue for that guy when he eventually got in the Hall of Fame. He had to wait like fucking 15 years. It was such bullshit. I mean, Warren Moon's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Warren Moon, like especially now when, like, and believe me, I love Kurt Warner. But, like, Kurt Warner was, like, one of those, like, guys to get in. Like, if Kurt Warner's, like, that easy a pick over somebody like Warren Moon, like, yeah, man.
Well, I get it, because you're talking about a Super Bowl and then 2 other Super Bowl appearances. They probably should have beaten the Patriots in Brady's first, Super Bowl run. And then he, it took the Steelers to have a miraculous game. Could very well have had 3. I get it. But you're talking about sustained dominance over a career? Yeah, Warren Moon, man. And that game, it looked like the Oilers were going to put up fucking 60. I mean, the Buffalo D couldn't stop a fucking nose running.
Well, did you know?
God, it was a phenomenal game. Anyone who hasn't seen it, go look up the highlights of that, man. It was in Buffalo. It was cold as shit on that bullshit AstroTurf that they had. And I'm talking about the ones that not the stuff you know of today. I'm talking about that one where you slide on. It's like, well, there's some skin. Man,
we did George Reynolds, God rest his soul, still alive. He set up a clinic for some of us at Loyola College, and they had turf. And again, this is in the 90s, so it was maybe a step up from, like, that early turf, but it wasn't that far up. And I remember slide tackling, because that was my bread and butter. Oh, just leaving skin on the fucking field, dude.
Yeah, a carpet sample of Murr's hip.
Yeah, but on, like, day 2, it rained, and they still had us play. And I remember slide tackling, and I remember fucking, like, I think about 10 yards into the slide tackle, I started giggling because I was still moving.
God, dude, the slip like Crocodile Mile could have done an ad with you.
100%.
You run, you slide, you hit the bump and take a dive.
I hit this guy. I took the ball. I took him off his feet, and I was just like, just kept going. And I just was like, I was laughing, and I think I went about 20 yards before I fucking stopped. Because I hit it fucking full tilt, man. But did you know the Clippers overcame a 31-point deficit, trailing 94-63 in the third quarter, to win 135-131. This is the largest single-game comeback in NBA playoff history. It came against a stacked Warriors team with stars like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. This is iconic for its improbability in the modern NBA era.
Damn, I wonder if this was that Lob City team with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and doesn't have a date on it?
Sorry, yeah, I should have read that part.
Yeah.
It's the Clippers versus the Golden State Warriors, 2019 NBA first round, game 2.
That might have been after them. Yeah, that's damn. Unfortunately, they went on to get beat in the series, but I get it. Interesting, yeah. Clippers. I wonder who was on that Clippers team. Like, Paul was gone, Blake Griffin was gone, DeAndre Jordan was gone.
Yeah, I don't know the NBA well enough to, like, tell you, especially, like, I mean, like, with the Warriors, fucking, obviously Steph Curry's been around for so long at this point. But,
yeah.
By the way, there's a great viral video going around of Steph Curry fixing people's jump shots.
Okay.
It's great, dude. It's great. You know, like every now and again you see a golf pro like fixing people's swings for him.
Yeah.
And it's him like taking backyard basketball dudes and just telling them like, here's the simple fix to your jump shot. And the one that I saw is like, you see how you're holding the ball? Like you got a great shot. It should feel weird in your hand, but this part of the ball should be touching this part of your hand. Try it again. And the guy misses, and he's like, you missed, but don't worry about it. Like, he's like, keep trying it. And all of a sudden, homeboy's like Steph Curry himself, like, on the fucking backyard fucking basketball court. It's like, holy shit. And it's just like the little things that these, like, and somebody like Steph Curry's got, like, the personality and, like, that demeanor to be able to teach somebody like that, that simple step.
There's also, I wish I could dig this up. I've looked for it and can't find it. I saw it once and cracked up laughing, but it was like a, I don't know, late elementary, middle school basketball, like BYU or just rec league basketball coach. And someone says, hey, coach, you think Steph Curry's ruining the game? And he's like, no, I don't think Steph Curry's ruining the game. And as they say that, a kid on his team steals the ball on a fast break. Rather than lays it up, the spots up for a three-pointer and airballs it, then he just looks at the camera. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And I think that's why I have enjoyed watching the Knicks over this run, is they don't seem to be stopping to take three-pointers. They're taking the baskets that they're given.
Yeah, this era of NBA is going to have more three-point shots no matter what team it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some way more than others. But you're right. This Knicks team definitely understands, like, okay, 2 points is 2 points. 1 point is 1 point. Let's get to the line. Let's do, like, we don't have to live and die by the 3-point shot. And you know, I've had multiple arguments with people that I befriended here in Baltimore who talk about, because I hate the era of basketball of swinging, swing and kick, drive and kick. You know, and it's like, the court is just filled with 6'7" dudes who are freak athletes who can shoot the basketball, and it's like, all right, we're gonna drive, and when the defense compresses, you're just gonna pass out to someone. I'm gonna shoot. All right, that's it. That's the offense.
I think that a run like this is going to change the game, and I think what you'll probably start to see is first half a lot of what we're talking about, and then second half wild card. Like take your shots. Like, you know, especially if it's not working. And I think that might elevate the game a little bit, because I can't watch these regular season games where they're doing what you're talking about, like fast break, stop, shoot a three.
43-point attempts a game. I mean, I get it, but god damn, it gets to be bland as fuck.
But here's what does elevate it is, like, when I watch like a guy like Wemby fucking like taking a three and fucking draining them like that. Yeah. Dude, that guy's got such a sweet stroke. He's fucking like 8.5 feet tall. Like his alley-oops don't even fucking touch the rim. It's fucking wild, man. It's fucking wild. That dude, as long as he stays healthy and maybe puts a little meat on his bones, that guy, instant Hall of Famer with health, instant Hall of Famer. Ridiculous numbers.
I don't even know, like, Yao Ming made Yao Ming got inducted, and I think he had an abbreviated career because of his feet. And this is why I think Webby needs to, like, take care of his feet. I know that sounds like a weird thing, but that's a lot of gravity for a 7'5" dude. And you know, Yao Ming constantly had stress fractures going on, which, you know, ended his career short. Albeit that was a cool little run that he had with the Rockets. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, with health, I mean, you're talking about an all-time great. This is going to be like, all right, your top five, and then people are going to go, well, you know, you have Webby in there.
Yeah, the guy's fucking impressive, and has, by the way, won me a lot of money on DraftKings because he always hits his fucking numbers.
Yeah. And if the NWO and WCW are still around, I'm thinking a cameo appearance, man. You know, they're in the off season.
Him versus Rodman.
Yeah. We got the secret weapon.
Oh my God.
The secret Webby.
Did you know the New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl LI? can't remember which one that one is.
53, I think, yeah.
But that's 2017. The Patriots erased a 25-point deficit, 28-3, in the third quarter to win 34-28 in overtime. Tom Brady engineered the comeback in the biggest game on the biggest stage. While not the largest raw deficit, its Super Bowl context and overtime drama make it one of the most famous in American sports history.
Yeah, and there was a portion of that game where the Patriots had cut that deficit down to like not single digits, but close to. And the Falcons could have kicked a field goal, but elected to go for it on 4th and short and got stopped. And that's where, points are at a premium, man. You got to kick the field goal. I don't exactly remember when that was. It was late third or early fourth quarter, and they went for it and got stopped. And they didn't. I don't think they scored a point from a few minutes. I don't think they scored many points in the second half, if any.
They
at
didn't
all.
score. They didn't. They didn't score any points in the second half. That's. And by the way, like, just for anybody like, bleh, like, the Patriots still had to go for 2, like, on like their last 2 touchdowns. Like that. Like, it wasn't. This is not an easy victory of any.
No.
But this is where my opinions on Tom Brady changed dramatically. Like, where my fanfare for the man, like, went from, like, fuck that guy to, ooh, fuck that guy. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, because obviously greatest of all time, like, conversations were already occurring in 2017. But that solidified it for me. And then from that point on, I was just like, I'm rooting for this guy. Like, not against the Ravens, but, like, any other opportunity that I see to have this guy win, I want it, because I'll never witness it again before my fucking eyes close forever.
That's a good point. You root against them early on, and once they start getting into the echelon, I was kind of the same way. I know you're not as big into tennis, but I was kind of the same way with Federer when he was getting towards the twilight of his career. I was like, this is the greatest tennis player I've ever seen. Let's stack it up. I think I've told you this story before. I know I have, because I edit the podcast, so I remember this. But this was early on when Sarah and I were dating. Her company's headquarters is in Atlanta, and she had to go down there for an event when the Super Bowl was being played. And the company owner said, if the Falcons win, we're off tomorrow. And at halftime, people just started fucking blasting drinks. Like, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
And then they went in Monday fucking,
I still think you give the company off, because you fucking you set yourself up for disaster on that one. Now, these last 2 aren't necessarily the greatest comebacks of all time, but they're the greatest comebacks in our lifetime. Did you know the Los Angeles Kings versus the Edmonton Oilers, the 1982 Stanley Cup playoffs? You were born in 83, so a little 82? Off on that one.
I was born in 82.
Okay, all right, my bad. Let's see. It's called the Miracle on Manchester. The Kings were down 5-0 early in the third period against the dynastic, a word I don't ever use, high-powered Oilers with the Wayne Gretzky at the helm, and stormed back to a 6-5 overtime win. They scored 5 unanswered goals in the third and tied it, with Darrell Evans netting the overtime winner. This is the largest single-game comeback in NHL playoff history, and one of the most legendary moments in hockey.
Damn, and that's not just of Gretzky. It's Gretzky and Messier and a couple other Hall of Famers, and I think that was the third year of their four-peat, or maybe they won 4 out of 5 or something like that. So that's the team. You know what I mean? They were the big swinging dicks of the NHL, and to do that, whew, man.
But man, to be down 5-0 in the third fucking period to tie it.
What do you say as a coach? Like, all right, guys, just keep grinding, just keep.
Well, wait, which coach? The winning side or the other side? I mean, like, as a coach, I just think you say, like, you know what it always reminds of? What's the boxing match? Castillo Corrales.
Yeah.
Where he's like,
you better fucking get inside on him now. Yeah.
That's the speech. That's
right.
it. That's it. Like, score some fucking goals or we're going home. Like, that's it.
You guys got any trick plays up your sleeve? Huh. Now's the time.
Fuck.
You're the ones that always scream at you for pulling off in practice. Now's it.
By the way, if anybody out there's never watched the Castillo-Corrales fight,
One. Oh my God. It's one of the greatest of all time. Yeah.
Jim Lampley puts it at his greatest of all time, which is saying something. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's for a guy who called the Gotti Ward fights. Yeah, that's, oh, man.
Yeah, go watch that motherfucker. And finally, did you know? The San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Giants. This is 2002 NFC Wild Card Playoff, January 5th, 2003. The 49ers trailed 24 points, 38-14 late in the third quarter before mounting a furious rally to win 39-38. Jeff Garcia threw for 331 yards and 3 TDs. Terrell Owens had 9 catches for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the go-ahead touchdown came on a 13-yard pass to Ty Streets. The game featured massive momentum swings, chippy play, a drop TD by Jeremy Shockey, and a highly controversial no call on a potential pass interference that helped seal it, prompting a rare NFL apology to the Giants the next day.
Controversial. That guy got mauled. It was the botched fucking field goal, and the fucking holder scrambles out and just starts throwing his hand up like, get downfield. The Hail Mary, the 35-yard Hail Mary's coming. And the receiver, I don't even know, he was a lineman who was eligible for one reason or another. I don't know who's eligible during a fucking field goal. It's like he gets tackled. He got fucking absolutely just brought down.
I bet the refs were like, that guy's too fat for pass interference. We'll just let it go.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I remember because that's one. I never thought Jeff Garcia got enough credit than he should have.
Agreed.
And two, I don't know if you remember this. Like there was like a year because Owens wanted the big contract, or he wanted out. That's what they traded him to the Ravens, and then there was a dispute whether or not his agent actually faxed something. I don't remember the details of that, but that's when he wound up with the Eagles. Not too terribly long after that, he started a rumor that Jeff Garcia was gay.
And by the way, folks, this is a time where like it was like poison to be accused of being gay. Yeah, and
no, locker room, yeah.
By the way, I just remember this game because this is a game where like Terrell Owens like catches that pass at like the one. Am I wrong? This is the one where he catches it like at the one and like takes the most. He'd been dropping passes like that was like.
So you're thinking of the Packers game.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I do have it wrong though. There was this game where like Terrell Owens throughout the season was like great receiver, always open, but he would drop like obvious fucking catches, and then that was his hit, and then he catches this one fucking pass where he gets fucking absolutely demolished from both sides.
The old rules where the wide receivers could get fucking just
left out to dry and fucking pummeled, and he fucking ends up with it, comes up crying his eyes out because he knows what he just accomplished, and then the saga of T.O. begins with where Wes is fake faxes, Jeff Garcia's gay, like the entire thing, like that's where it all unraveled. But yeah,
two things I remember that about that Green Bay game. One, you can go back and look. Steve Young almost falls over the center's feet. He like gets his foot tangled up under center and then like stumbles like and Steve Young, who made a career out of being fleet of foot, I think at that point his dodginess was less than stellar, and steps on the center's foot as he's getting the snap and he like almost falls over, grounds himself, throws a fucking perfect pass to T.O. The other thing about that was I had to drive down with my mom to deliver a dresser to Brother Dewey Love, who was at the University of Maryland at the time. Unbeknownst to me or anybody else, he had collected like a $500 debt to a sports bookie who was in the fraternity, and he put basically like double or nothing on that game to get him to zero on the Niners. And I remember I stayed the night and I was like, dude, you looked like you were walking on eggshells that entire lunch. He was like, oh, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you, brother.
Let me tell you, brother. My debt's cleared. I was like, God, stop betting on. You don't have any money. What are you doing betting on fucking sports?
Oh my God, I never heard that story. Good God. It makes me.
The Niners were like 3-point dogs, and he was like, all right, here we go.
Dude, that makes me wonder. I wonder if this is like some kind of weird docu-series of like degenerate, not necessarily degenerate gamblers, but like guys who gamble on things that shouldn't be gambling.
Yeah. God.
And somehow like make it out like, because victory should not be zero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you should not throw your hands in the air, touchdown, for no money.
And I also like this bookie who he knew, who also probably knew he didn't have $500. Was like, yeah, cool. I'll take another $500 bet. What you got, Dewey? And he could have just said, no, I want my 500.
But honestly, because I think I know who the bookie was, that's a dog right there.
Yeah.
That's a guy saying, you probably can't pay this $500. I'm going to give you a chance to not pay $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, like I don't want to break your kneecaps one day, but I want to prolong it as long as we can. And then
that's by 1,000 cuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
And that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
All right, real quick on tonight's Before You Go, since Andrew owns a Tesla and is all for the AI advancement of I guess, autonomous delivery, we bring to you from Los Angeles, this is out of KTLA 5 News at Noon. I don't know what that's, sorry.
That's a pretty popular KTLA. I know KTLA.
Gotcha. Food delivery robot goes rogue, causes property damage in an LA home. So an East Hollywood resident said she's become the latest victim of a Coco food delivery after it uprooted her garden and got entangled in her fence. The incident occurred over the weekend. Resident Kaya Reed said she was inside her home when she heard all the commotion the robot was making. Quote, I came out and found the Coco in my garden. It got all my fence caught up in its wheel. It uprooted a whole bunch of plants in my garden and just drove off away with the fence attached to it. So I don't even know, like, the way I interpret that quote is it didn't even make the delivery and realized it fucked up and said, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Like a real human.
That's right. Yeah, I'll come back at a later time. I'm willing to be on the side of the fence that you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet. But your thoughts on this?
No,
this
I'm on the omelet side of this. Like, 'cause I have a feeling. Okay, the company's at fault if you don't have an option. I have a feeling you have an option here. Because, like, when I order my Amazon stuff, it's like, you know, if you order $25 or more, we can have it by tomorrow morning. And I'm always like, I need dog biscuits, and I'll find like $10 worth of
dog biscuits.
I'll find $10 worth of more shit to like just get it here when I want it here. And so I have a feeling when you're ordering shit, like, do you want autonomous delivery? You've approved of that,
right?
You've also watched the news and live in the world where you know that AI is capable of very many things, but is sometimes incapable of fixing, you know, recognizing acacia fucking photo. Yeah. So, buyer beware. Yeah.
And if you're, sorry, I don't know if this is the case, but if you're expecting Johnny Five to be rolling up, hey, how you doing there? Whoa, to the moon, Alice. You know, you might want to taper your expectations, because that's what I would expect.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen one of these things. Actually, there is. Dude, it looks like a fucking, like a red wagon.
Yeah, it's like a box that just like, exactly.
It looks like someone would wheel in a cooler at a festival.
Yes, and it dumps your package and fucking rolls away. But if
How
you've
this
got
thing could mangle her fence is beyond me. What is her fence made of? Fucking paper mache?
not just that, well, I mean, yes, probably. I mean, look,
It's LA.
I hold on to a lot of railings that are there for aesthetic and not like support purposes. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
that people just like to have the white picket fence. They don't care that it's actually. Back in the day, a fence stopped things from coming through it. Today, a fence stops nothing but maybe a light breeze and just looks like
Right.
what you want it to look like. So if you have it like. And these things, they get confused, okay? Bottom line, like, they use their little LiDAR, and if they don't see something and they get fucked up. By the way, I watched one of these AI robots in a parade karate kick a fucking 10-year-old in the fucking chest.
I mean, I think that was the kid's fault. This
Yes.
thing was doing a full-on Daniel LaRusso demonstration. The kid was like, "Yeah, let me get 1 foot from it," and hit straight up. Did not a crescent kick, like a roundhouse.
Yeah.
And, to the kid's credit, he got up. He was a good sport.
Yes. We are in the good sport era of artificially intelligent technologies. If we want to utilize these things and get our fucking packages like 5 minutes from when we fucking order them, these are the hardships we're going to have to go through in the meantime. Buyer beware. I do think that Amazon and places like this should say, hey, we're testing something out.
Sure, this isn't foolproof.
Beyond that, then
Our
you should...
our insurance runs deep.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And beyond that, like, yeah, then be ready for your fucking petunias to be fucking ripped out of the garden accidentally.
I also think be ready for your webcam or your what's the Shack? I always say that is the de facto security camera.
What, the ring cam, the trail cam?
Start getting your ring cams ready for your pets, or more importantly, your dogs, to start attacking these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gone are the days of the post service getting attacked. Now it's robots. Fucking like,
Not sure how I feel about that. I got attacked 6 times in 6 months. There's one route that I do that I am fucking absolutely afraid of. I have so much PTSD for that route. If I have a chance to not do it, I take it. I don't care. I'll do anything but that. Yeah, but like it's a real fucking threat, and that's gonna happen. So careful, fucking filing your complaint about your rose bushes getting a little fucking nick in their fucking spurs. What the fuck you call it? Thorns. Because eventually your fucking pet's gonna go after this motherfucker. And do you want to owe $100,000 for a fucking prototype robot, or do you want to fucking let it fly?
yeah, and I'm not going to say this is much to do about nothing, but we're not getting news alerts of like the thousands of these that are done well. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? You're not getting a news or click-worthy story about an AI robot successfully, or in this case, I don't even know. Why am I drawing a blank on the brand name of wagons?
Little Red Rider? No,
Red
that's not
Rider?
even it. No,
That's
fuck.
Gun.
Yeah. Hold on. It's red. It's got red in it.
Red
Little
Wagon?
Red Wagon. Little Red Wagon.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your Little Red Wagon performing a successful delivery. That's not buzzworthy. That's not click-worthy.
Good
That's
point.
not- you're going to get these, and I don't know. We've done numerous stories about fucking Amazon drivers. Amazon driver pissed in a 20-ounce can. Like, all right.
Yeah, they shit in a yard one time, okay? Like, God bless them. Like, that's a good fucking statistic, man. Like,
That's right, man. There's a margin of error. Come on.
Jesus Christ, man. What do you guys want from the world? You want perfection? Look at yourself in the goddamn mirror for once. Jesus.
That's right.
I didn't know. I mean, I worry about this stuff because, like, I worry about my job. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, they always say, like, they've been saying recently, like, well, white-collar jobs are the first ones to go. I'm like, well, fuck, man. Knowing that the Tesla robot coming out, like, next year is going to be, like, $25,000. I don't cost 25. I cost a lot more than $25,000 to do my job. Fuck, I'm a little fucking. Yeah, don't act like my fucking butt hairs ain't twitchy.
It's it. For a robot to trim them too. I'm sure we can arrange for that.
I'm sure we can.
Folks, we're going to wrap this episode up. You can find us on all your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and
Twitter.
YouTube, Twitter as well, X. You can see us on, you can listen to us on the streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. And tickle our tummies at gmail.com. I haven't looked in a little bit.
Why would we?
Keith Kern was hollering at us for a little bit. I admittedly, I got to be a little upset because I was reading his stuff like a month later. So anyway, neither here nor there. Oh man, we're gonna try to get. We were going to get old Raleigh McGinney, but he's going to Burning Man next week.
Oh well, then we need to get him the week after that one.
That's when he's not all burnt up.
Hey, your mustard stain's gone. That's amazing.
Look at that, man. Well, there's a little. Whatever.
I can't see it. And by the way, but before we started the show, Wes and I were talking about it. I was like, there was only 3 fucking options: mustard, relish, or beer, and it was one of the 3.
It was the mustard juice that comes out that you try to get rid of when you initially squeeze the mustard fucking container.
Shake the goddamn container first.
Well,
how many times I've watched Maria fucking squirt vinegar onto like whatever she's got because it's fucking ketchup and it separates? Just fucking shake it before you squirt it. That's my rule on everything.
Perfection, Murr. That's what you're talking about. There's the margins, baby. All right. We're going to leave. Good night.